Logged in like they did every other day, checked their balances, watched the markets. Another routine day in crypto. Until it wasn't. Numbers weren't adding up, wallets were draining, Ethereum millions of dollars at a time vanishing into the void. No announcements, no warnings, just transactions, silent, unstoppable, irreversible. BYBIT, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges, a name built on speed, security, and trust. But in the early hours of the morning, something happened. Something no one saw coming, and by the time they did, it was too late. Over $1.4 billion in Ethereum, gone, the single largest breach in BYBIT's history. Was it a flaw in the system, a calculated attack, or something much, much deeper? This is the story of how one of the biggest crypto heists unfolded, the tactics, the suspects, the unanswered questions. And the one thing every investor is now asking, could it happen again? To understand how it happened, you first need to understand where it happened. BYBIT, a name that, for years, meant speed, innovation, and security. A gateway for millions into the world of cryptocurrency. A platform trusted with billions of dollars in daily transactions. It was built for traders, designed to be seamless, efficient, untouchable. A fortress in an industry where fortunes are made and lost in an instant. Founded in 2018, BYBIT wasn't just another exchange. It grew fast, faster than most. A direct competitor to Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken. It promised a different kind of experience. No friction trading, deep liquidity, and ironclad security. By 2023, it was handling millions of users. Billions of dollars moved through its servers every day. It had survived bear markets, government scrutiny, and the collapse of other platforms. While others fell, BYBIT stood. But in the world of cryptocurrency, security isn't just a promise, it's a target. For the everyday user, crypto is simple. Buy, sell, store, a few taps on a screen, a few numbers on a balance sheet. But behind every exchange, behind every transaction, there is a system. One designed to protect billions of dollars from a constant, invisible threat. Most exchanges store funds in two ways: hot wallets and cold wallets. Hot wallets are fast, connected to the internet, ready to send, receive, and trade. But they're vulnerable, always online, always exposed. Cold wallets are different. Disconnected, air-gapped, hidden behind layers of encryption. The safest way to store crypto until it needs to be moved. Exchanges operate on a delicate balance. Too much in hot wallets, a risk. Too much in cold storage, a bottleneck. BYBIT had protocols, firewalls, multi-signature authentication, an entire system designed to prevent the unthinkable, the kind of breach that had already crippled some of the biggest names in crypto history. Mt. Gox, the 2014 hack that erased 850,000 Bitcoin, worth billions today. Binance, the breach that cost them $40 million in 2019. FTX, a collapse that left users locked out, funds missing, answers buried under lawsuits and scandal. Each of them, at one point, claimed to be unbreakable. Each of them failed. BYBIT had seen it all. It had learned from those failures, built redundancies, strengthened its defenses. It was supposed to be different. But security is only as strong as the weakest link. And on that day, in that moment, something changed. Despite its robust security measures, BYBIT was about to face its worst nightmare. February 21, 2025, a normal day in the crypto world. Markets moved. Traders placed their bets. Millions of dollars flowed through BYBIT servers. Then, something changed. Ethereum, hundreds of thousands of tokens, began moving. Not small transfers, not routine withdrawals, a flood of transactions, large and unusual. The numbers kept rising, faster, bigger. Then, the realization, this wasn't normal. This wasn't a market event. This was something else. BYBIT is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. Billions of dollars in daily trading volume, millions of users. Like most major exchanges, it had strict security measures, hot wallets, cold wallets, multi-layer authentication. Protocols designed to protect user funds. But on February 21st, during a routine transfer between BYBIT's cold and warm wallets, something went wrong. The funds didn't reach their intended destination. Instead, over 400,000 Ethereum, worth over $1.4 billion, was redirected elsewhere. A sophisticated exploit, a vulnerability in the system. And in just minutes, one of the largest crypto thefts in history had occurred. Where did the money go? In traditional banking, stolen funds can be frozen, traced, and recovered. But in crypto, money moves fast. too fast. The stolen Ethereum was tracked moving across the blockchain, but the trail didn't last long. Some of it was quickly fragmented into smaller transactions, dispersing across multiple wallets. Then another move, funds flowing into known crypto mixing services. Designed to break transaction trails, these services make stolen funds nearly impossible to trace. And once the money is mixed, tracking it becomes a near impossible task. Hours after the breach, BYBIT confirmed the attack. Their statement was clear: they had been hacked. The company reassured users despite the loss, BYBIT remained solvent. CEO Ben Zhao emphasized, all client assets are backed. Withdrawals were delayed. The security team worked to assess the damage, and the industry watched closely. One of the biggest crypto heists in history had just unfolded. Social media exploded. Twitter, Telegram, Reddit, users searching for answers, demanding explanations. Some had lost trading funds. Others feared for their future on the platform. And the biggest question still remained: who was behind it? And would they ever be caught? The attackers were gone. The funds had vanished. But the biggest question remained: who did it? Somewhere, behind a screen, behind layers of encryption, behind wallets with no names, someone was watching. Someone had just pulled off one of the biggest crypto heists in history. But would they get away with it? For BYBIT, the hunt began immediately. Their security team scrambled, reviewing logs, tracing transactions, scanning every possible entry point. Blockchain analysts followed the stolen Ethereum as it moved across the network. But within hours, the funds began disappearing, split into smaller transactions, rerouted through anonymous wallets. Then came the first real clue: a signature, a method, a style of attack that felt familiar. There were only a few groups in the world capable of pulling off something like this. 1. State-sponsored hackers. The Lazarus Group, the first name to surface? The Lazarus Group, a hacking syndicate with deep ties to North Korea, a group responsible for some of the largest cyber attacks in history, including the $600 million Ronin network hack. Lazarus operates with military precision. Their tactics are clean, efficient, and devastating. If they were behind this, the money may already be beyond reach. 2. Organized cybercrime. Russian and Chinese hacker syndicates? But Lazarus wasn't the only suspect. Investigators also looked toward another set of players: elite cybercrime networks in Russia and China. These groups don't just hack for political gain, they steal for profit. Billions of dollars flow through their hands, laundered through crypto mixers, converted into cash, then gone forever. They work fast, they work quietly, and they leave little behind. 3. An inside job, but there was another possibility. A theory that couldn't be ignored. What if this wasn't an attack from the outside? BYBIT had one of the most secure infrastructures in crypto: multi-signature authentication, cold storage protections, layers upon layers of security. Yet on February 21st, all of that failed, and it failed at the exact moment a routine transfer was taking place. Could someone inside BYBIT have helped? Could a single mistake, a leak, an access key, an overlooked vulnerability have opened the door? Expert analysis: how it happened. The method used in the BYBIT hack was unlike typical phishing or brute force attacks. Cybersecurity experts believe the hackers exploited a vulnerability in the transaction signing interface, something only a handful of people would have known how to manipulate. The attack was fast, precise, and left almost no digital fingerprints. This wasn't a random breach, this was planned. With billions of dollars stolen, law enforcement agencies across the globe stepped in. The FBI, Interpol, cybercrime divisions from multiple countries. But in crypto, tracking money is one thing, recovering it, almost impossible. The stolen Ethereum had already started moving through crypto mixing services. Tornado Cash, Blender, platforms designed to erase transaction histories, making stolen funds untraceable. And that's the problem. Once crypto enters the dark corners of the blockchain, it's nearly impossible to get it back. What happens next? Authorities will continue to investigate. Blockchain analysts will try to piece together the movement of funds. BYBIT will strengthen security. Users will demand answers. But the hackers? They're already ahead, already planning their next move. And unless something changes, they might never be caught. When the attack was over, the damage was clear. $1.5 billion in Ethereum, gone. BYBIT, once considered one of the most secure crypto exchanges, had just suffered one of the largest heists in history. But now the real questions began. Would users ever get their money back? What did this mean for the future of crypto? And most importantly, could this happen again? The panic set in almost immediately. BYBIT users flooded social media with desperate questions. Were their funds still safe? Had the exchange collapsed? Was this another FTX scenario, another Mt. Gox? The fear was real. Is BYBIT hacked? I can't withdraw my ETH. What's happening? BYBIT needs to address this now. Then, the first statement came. BYBIT CEO Ben Zhou addressed the situation directly. Despite the scale of the hack, he assured users that their funds were safe. The company remained solvent. Assets were backed 1-1. More than 350,000 withdrawal requests were processed in the hours following the breach. But BYBIT needed time. They secured emergency bridge loans to keep operations running. They promised transparency. They promised answers. But in the world of crypto, promises aren't enough. Trust is everything. And BYBIT's reputation had just taken a massive hit. The attack didn't just affect BYBIT. It shook the entire crypto market. Ethereum, the primary asset stolen, dropped 8% within hours, from $2,845 to $2,604. The loss was immediate. Investors pulled funds. Panic set in. Other exchanges took action. Security audits were launched. Withdrawals were slowed. The fear of contagion spread. Could this happen elsewhere? For many, the BYBIT hack wasn't just another crypto theft. It was a reminder, a warning, a reality check that no platform, no matter how big, no matter how secure, was untouchable. As news of the hack spread, regulators took notice. For years, governments had struggled to control the wild west of crypto. Every hack, every scam, every collapse was another reason for lawmakers to step in. Now, they had another reason. In Washington, in Brussels, in Beijing, talks began. Stronger security standards, mandatory insurance for user funds, tighter controls on exchanges. The conversation wasn't new, but this time, the voices were louder. If a platform like BYBIT can lose $1.5 billion overnight, what does that mean for the everyday investor? For some, the BYBIT hack wasn't just a crime. It was proof that the system itself was broken. And unless something changed, it would happen again. For investors, the message was clear. Exchanges are vulnerable. No matter how big, no matter how secure, they can be breached. And when they fall, your money falls with them. The BYBIT hack reignited an old debate. Should you ever trust an exchange with your crypto? Crypto holders turned to self-custody solutions. Cold wallets, hardware security, multi-signature authentication. Suddenly, these weren't just precautions. They were necessities. The reality? If your assets are on an exchange, they aren't really yours. They belong to a platform. And that platform, it can be hacked. The BYBIT hack will go down in history. Another billion-dollar theft. Another lesson learned too late. The investigation continues. The money is still out there. And the hackers, they're watching, planning, waiting. Because this won't be the last time. $1.5 billion. Gone. The blockchain never lies. The stolen Ethereum is still out there, moving between wallets, vanishing into the shadows of the digital world. But the question remains, will it ever be found? EtherScan tells a story. The stolen ETH didn't just disappear, it moved. First to smaller wallets, then through decentralized platforms, then into the black hole of the internet, privacy mixers. Tornado Cash, Sinbad, private bridges. These tools were built for anonymity, and now they're being used to erase the tracks of one of the biggest crypto heists in history. Investigators watch as the money moves piece by piece, but can they catch it before it's gone forever? Did BYBIT hide something? On February 21, 2025, BYBIT confirmed what many had feared. One of its cold wallets, a vault designed to be secure, had been compromised. CEO Ben Zhou issued a statement. The breach had resulted in an estimated $1.5 billion loss. Despite the scale of the attack, BYBIT reassured users withdrawals would continue. Client funds were fully backed. But behind the scenes, one question loomed. How did a cold wallet, an offline storage system, get breached? Did BYBIT see warning signs? Were their vulnerabilities ignored? And most importantly, was there more to the story than they were letting on? Who was behind the attack? Theories quickly surfaced. Could it have been an inside job, a sophisticated external attack, or something even more alarming, a state-sponsored operation? Cybersecurity researchers pointed to familiar patterns, the kind used in past attacks by the Lazarus Group, North Korea's elite hacking syndicate. If true, this wouldn't just be theft, it would be geopolitical warfare. Governments are watching, regulators are preparing their response, and the world of crypto security is facing its biggest test yet. If BYBIT can be hacked, what does that mean for the rest of the industry? More regulations? Stricter security measures? Government-controlled exchanges? Or will the crypto world resist, staying decentralized, staying vulnerable? For years, the argument has been the same. Crypto was built to be independent, free from banks, free from governments, free from control. But as attacks grow bigger, as billions disappear in an instant, the world is watching. If the system can't protect itself, will someone else step in? The story isn't over. The stolen billions are still out there. The hackers, wherever they are still free. The question is no longer what happened. The real question is, who's next? One of the biggest heists in crypto history. A billion-dollar question remains unanswered. Will justice be served? Will the funds ever be recovered? Or has the world just witnessed the perfect crime? For now, the trail goes cold. The Ethereum moves through wallets, slipping through the cracks of the decentralized web. Investigators chase ghosts, hoping to find something, anything, before it's too late. But what if this wasn't just another cyber heist? What if this was something bigger? A warning, a statement, a shift in the very foundation of digital finance. The implications stretch far beyond this single event. Trust has been shaken, confidence has been shattered, and the question remains, who is truly in control? In the days following the attack, authorities scramble for leads, blockchain analysts track every transaction, and users demand answers. But the silence is deafening. No arrests, no suspects, no trace of the missing funds. Just whispers in the shadows of the internet, theories spun in forums, and unanswered questions. The blockchain never forgets. Every move is recorded, every transaction leaves a footprint, yet the perpetrators remain unseen, moving like phantoms through the depths of cyberspace. Somewhere, someone knows the truth. Somewhere, the stolen wealth sits, untouched, untraceable, waiting. If you want to stay ahead of crypto scams, security breaches, and digital heists, subscribe now. Turn on notifications. This story isn't over. What do you think happened? Was this an inside job? A sophisticated cyber attack? A glimpse into the future of decentralized chaos? Or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments.